welcome back to another video on the She Talks Systems channel. My name is Nicola Melinda and I am a verified ClickUp consultant, and in today's video I'm going to walk you through what inside my client folder looks like inside of ClickUp. Now obviously I run all of my projects, client work through ClickUp. Every task, every deliverable is all stored right there, and I'm going to share with you my structure, and it's also a structure that I advise my clients on how to use as well, so that they can organize the client work, projects, admin, all of the things inside of this one area. As one of the biggest questions is, how can I make client management easier? So check out this video, make sure you stick around, and if you do enjoy the content, hit like and subscribe because you will get notifications of any new videos that come up. So if you're ready, let's dive straight into this demo. Alright, so we are going to be walking through my Systems House client folder, and this is what you're looking at inside of my demo space. Now, as you can see here, this folder actually sits within our client delivery. So this would essentially be a templated folder. Every time we bring on a new client, that folder is populated for that particular client. Of course, it's all automated, and all I have to do is go in there and set up the project, set up the work and the tasks as I need to do. So let's start from the top and I'll walk you through exactly what we have in place. So you can see here that we have all of our lists in place for this particular client. So we'll start with client onboarding because that's always where these things start. Now this list is literally a checklist, so all of our onboarding tasks, everything that needs to be done is just housed here, and this can be assigned out to myself or to a VA, whoever needs to do these tasks, and this is more to ensure that the client is always onboarded. And so some onboarding tasks need to happen for internal purposes, so things such as setting up their client portal dashboards, setting up the project, but there might be other tasks that are down to the client, so having the client book in their kickoff call or completing their pre-work. Those are the client's responsibilities, but we'll keep those in the onboarding tasks anyway, just so we can keep a track of what's actually been completed. Once any of these tasks are completed, we can literally just tick it off. So we only have two statuses. We have a to-do status, we have a completed status. So it is really being used as a checklist, and I can close all of these down. This one has subtasks, as you can see, so if I haven't completed the subtask, it's going to flag that to me and I have to go back and resolve that. So that's a really good reminder to have in place. Same for setting up a Slack channel. Again, some of these tasks are automated, so opening up a Google Drive folder, the Slack channel itself will be automated. That's an automation using Zapier, and some of these tasks are already in place through onboarding, which I use Dubsado to manage my onboarding, and so that will take care of payment plans and invoicing and other reminder emails as well. So this is really just to keep us honest and keep us accountable, and it also helps us to ensure there is a consistent onboarding experience across all of our clients as they come on board to work with us. So the next list that we will have is a project list. Now the project list is essentially the ClickUp setup project that we will do for our clients. Now we do two types of setup projects, so this is based around our biggest project, which would incorporate team trainings, integrations and all of the things. So with all of that, we have built out project template which has all of the deliverables and all of the tasks for this particular project, and based on the scope we can add to this and we can remove from these project tasks as we need to. So even though it's a template, it's a baseline, it gives us scope to add to it and remove from it as we need on a case-by-case basis. And we can also go through each of the subtasks, apply assignees, the start dates, due dates, time estimates, and we also have different phases that each of these subtasks sit in. So we work through our phases of design, build and deploying the system to the business as well. So the project list looks very simplistic. We've set the settings in this list so that it's expanded. So all that means is every time we come into this list, we'll always see the deliverables, the subtasks applied. We haven't grouped it in any particular order, although you can do that if you wish, if you prefer. We've also kept it so that we can show the closed tasks and keep those open. So if I was to close down any of these tasks and mark them as complete, it will still stay visible within this project area. That's just a preference on how I like to work, because I like to just keep a track visually to see what has been ticked off and what's still open. But you can turn this feature off as well, and it just means that it will just remove any closed tasks from view. So that's just an area that I work. I also like to label my list views as well. I don't just like to leave it as list at the top. So I will change the title of the list view. In the task board view, we are categorizing these based on the status that the task itself is in, but we do have on view on these cards if there's a dependency in place, what the status is, the due dates, and also just the project phase as well. And we'd also be able to see the assignee once that is applied. So depending on how you like to work, if you prefer to use the Kanban board view, you can use this instead, and you can simply just drag your tasks across. So I could do that in my projects. Well, you'll see that I am using dependencies and I am using milestones as well within the project. So various milestones may be actually the milestone of create the actual build of the platform itself, importing data, that could be another milestone, launching the system to the business can be another milestone. So this is a great way to structure out your projects, and also when you work with multiple clients, so I could have multiple projects on at one time, what also helps is tagging these. And I do have another video where I talk about the difference between tagging and using labels inside of your system, but I can also decide to just tag this particular project with the name of the company, so that it's a lot easier for me to just see who this project is for, what client that's for. So if our client was to come on board for monthly system support tasks, then we have another list which is in place, and again this is monthly consulting, so we can tag that with the client's name as well, systems house. And in this case we have all of the deliverables for the month that would take place, so all of the deliverables that we'd be doing. We've got due dates. As you can see, some of these are recurring due dates. We would also have the same assignee as well, so whoever that team member is, they would be in charge of doing that. And we've applied some time estimates, and then we can track that time and just get an idea of how much time is actually being used against that particular task when it's being conducted for the client. So if you work with clients on both a retainer basis or project basis, these are a couple of ways where you can organize the work, so you could still have your separate lists. The next list that I have in my client folder is a client admin list. Now, this is a great list for me to be able to separate client tasks and tasks that I do need to keep a track of, but it's not anything really related to the project. It's more internal admin that we need to do. So it could be meetings that we need to have scheduled in. We want to keep a track of those meetings. It could be invoicing that we want to keep track of. So we'll reapply our tags so that we've got our tags for the correct client in place. So this will help to, again, categorize the admin tasks that are being applied for this particular client. So we'll reapply those. And then what we are also using are task types. So what you'll notice is that these tasks look a little bit different, and the task types can be found. We click on the menu there and just go to task types. I have some defined task types in my ClickUp workspace that just allow me to differentiate what type of task this is that's going inside of ClickUp. So it's not an actual deliverable as such, it's not a milestone, but this is more admin focus. So we've got different options there. We've got SOP, meeting note, form response, client meetings, billing. In this case, we're just using the billing and the client meetings in this particular client's case. And what's great is that we've grouped based on the task type, and we've expanded the subtasks, but also at the space level, when it comes to actually having a look at all of my client admin outside of this folder, I can get a view of
only my client admin tasks. So this is something that I really like to do inside of ClickUp. Just keeps everything organized and makes it a lot easier for me to track what's happening with each client. So I have my client admin folder in place, and then below that you'll notice we have some documentation as well. So we'll start with the client meetings. Now, something you can do inside of ClickUp, inside of your folders, is you can create list views, which we have, but you can also create document views, dashboards, whiteboards, and form views. So I'm only using the document view in this particular case, and this will have, again, a templated agenda for the client kickoff call. There are instructions on how I can set this up, what the project timeline is, and what information I need to input for each particular client. And then I can have an area or document area for all of our client project meetings together. So the agenda items, if we are doing weekly project check-in calls, we can have all the discussion points, action items, which can actually be turned into tasks and added back into the project tasks list as well. So these are really beneficial to have in place. And then we have a user guide which is created for all of our clients, and again this is templated, so this will be shared with clients once we are getting ready to launch the system into their business, and we have all of the different walkthroughs. You could kind of say that these are sort of SOPs, so to speak, but they just provide some best practices, instructions on how to navigate and use ClickUp as a team inside of the business. So this is a deliverable that is actually created. This deliverable is marked in our project list, but we will save this as a template, save that with and share that with clients so they have that in their workspace. So we keep all of our key documents and elements inside of the folder, and it just means that for this particular client, should I need to go back to anything for this client, I know that it's in this area. I can manage the onboarding, I can manage the live client project work, the deliverables, my admin, and also I can keep a track of meetings and notes and updates through the documents as well.
So that's the walkthrough, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that video, that quick demo. Do drop any questions that you have in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. And if you did enjoy today's video, please do hit like and subscribe. Make sure that you get notifications of new videos that are popping up on the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.